What's going on, guys? So someone reached out to me the other day and said, Tanner, I'm pricing out jobs perfectly. I can't seem to figure out why I'm being compared to other contractors that are pricing the jobs for a third of the price, and I can't seem to win my customers over. And my direct response to that is, why would I hire you? What have you given the homeowner that is different than just price? Because if all you're giving the homeowner is a price, that's all they have to compare you to. So if your price is $5,000 and someone comes in at $2,500, what have you done to make up that difference? And my thing is that the first part of this is understanding that your sales process is more than just the transaction of funds, okay? It's more than just the getting down to displaying what the quote is, right? Your sales process is everything that happens before that, okay? After your initial marketing that gets them into the door or gets them to communicate with you. So let me break down what your sales process really is. So the first part of it is that initial phone call. It's what does that phone call sound like? What does that greeting sound like, right? What does that enthusiasm sound like? How have you made yourself stand out against the competitor? Because if you're answering the phone like, hey, thanks for calling my painting company, my name's Tanner, how may I help you? As opposed to the other guy that says, John's Painting. It's different, right? I'm paying more off the bat for somebody that has that sort of greeting, that sort of investment in what I'm trying to accomplish, right? The second thing is, what is your communication like, okay? So whenever that comes in, do they get an email follow-up right away, giving them a confirmation for their estimate? Does that happen in your business? If it doesn't, that's another thing that we're doing to separate ourselves from the competition. Guys, you hear me talk about automations. This is part of it, okay? The next step is, are you prompt when you deliver your estimate? Are you showing up on time? Are you being informative? Are you answering all questions? But most importantly, are you estimating or are you selling? And I say estimate because that's what we call the act of going there. But what I really mean is that those that are selling jobs for more and consistently doing so are doing more than just estimating. Let me give you an example. I went to an estimate yesterday and I sold on the estimate. And what I did was I went into the house, and the first thing I did is that I allowed the customer to tell me what they wanted. And I really do this because I really want to know what it is that their thought process is going into this project. And they said, you know what, Tanner, I really only want the master bedroom and bath done. I want the kitchen done, and I want the guest bedroom done. And I said, that's no problem. At first glance, that would have been probably about a $1,200 job, okay? And our company has a $2,200 minimum, and I still go to these estimates with the mindset is I'm gonna convert these people to be my sort of customer, and I'm gonna do my best to do so. So what we did was I came in there and I said, you know what, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, I'm looking at your baseboards, I'm looking at your trim. Right now it's a tan, and your doors, they blend into the walls. And I said, to be honest with you, if you really want to get the most appealing look that's not only good for your initial appeal, but we always think resale. We always think, what would a potential buyer think? Well, 99% of houses have white trim and white doors. And for some reason, your house has trim that matches some of the walls here. It's really not a customary practice to have your trim the same color as your walls. Would you consider me pricing you for having white baseboard and white trim? And I just left that question there. Okay, this is me separating myself from whoever came in and just kind of took the orders and said, okay, you want this bedroom, this bedroom, this bedroom. Okay, no. I went in there with the mindset that I'm going to try to upsell and add value to this person. So what I did was I made the word investment stand out. I know that this is something that you thought would initially be something that you wanted, but in terms of resale, we're in a retirement community, so these people are always thinking resale. Okay, so in terms of resale, we want to make sure that this house has potential to be sold if needed. And I think that white baseboards, white trim, and white doors would really look good in here. Is that something you would consider? And she looked at her husband and said, you wouldn't believe this. During the closing, when we had this house built, the builder told us that it would be extra for them to do the walls, the doors, the baseboards, and the trim white. And we were really confused at the time. It was a crazy closing, and we didn't really focus in on that because we've never had a house built before. When we walked into the house, we were shocked. Our mouths dropped, and we said, I can't believe they really painted the trim, the baseboards, and the doors the same color as the walls. That didn't make any sense to us, and we've just been living with it for the last 10 years. So absolutely, you know what, you're right. I think it would look great. It would match our cabinets. Now this person has converted to my ideal customer because of my enthusiasm, my ability to build value, and to build trust. And I'm not coming in there with the mindset you have to do this or we're not going to do the work for you. It was, let me show you why this would be a good option for you. So compare that to the other guy that comes in that says, hey, thanks so much. Okay, so we'll quote you for the guest bedroom. We'll quote you for the master bathroom and whatever else you want. Okay, big difference, guys. You have to learn how to build value and build trust and upsell. That's our X factor, is that we care more about just giving you what you want. We want to make sure not only that we give you what you want, but you get more than what you want. You get the most appealing look possible. And I've built my business on this philosophy, okay? Because I understand going to be underbid, and you have to understand that too. You're going to be underbid, but you have to have an X factor. And we talk about what the system is before the actual, getting down to the numbers. We talk about, that phone call. We talk about the showing up on time, that enthusiasm when you get there, the ability to upsell and create a vision for somebody, right? That whole process. And then of course, when you get your proposal out, does that proposal have everything detailed, to show the customer how professional your company is? Because that is what separates you from somebody that is pricing the job out a third. Because if they're not doing any of those things, to them, it's like, holy smokes, this company is going to give me an experience. This company is just going to give me what could be a headache. And that's what we want to do. So by doing so, we're building value, we're building trust, and we're distancing ourselves from the price. And I call that the expectation gap. And we'll get into that in another video. So I really wanted to help you guys who are struggling with competing with lowballed companies that are lowballing you, that are taking away your profits, that are making you feel like you're doing something wrong. What you need to do is you need to adjust your approach and focus on these things that lead up to the sale, and you will separate yourself from the competition. My name is Tanner with Trade Thrive. Always a pleasure serving you guys. Head over to tradethrive.com. We got some cool things there we can help you out with. If you want to give me some feedback on this video, please drop a comment below, tag a friend. Really appreciate it, guys.